Sunday night, it's Jon Andrews here with you. Talking about cycling now, lots of cyclists out and about. Are you one of them, out and about doing the cycling? Or are you one of those fair weather cyclists? Just gets on the bike when the sun comes out. Well, hardcore cyclists and cycling enthusiasts Paul, Down and Debbie Aldous from Woking Cycling Club join us on the programme today. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
And welcome to the programme. So,
hi, John.
Hello, good to have you here this evening talking about the Woking Cycle Club. Now, this was set up by you, Paul, and then you do all the managing. How's that? Is that how it works?
Yes, I'm in charge.
I'm not going to disagree with that at all.
Who wears the trousers? And are they lycra?
Let's get that clear.
No, so we started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And the idea was not so much to start a club. That wasn't really the idea. The idea was just to get a group of like-minded individuals just to cycle together to enjoy the Surrey Hills. So, we were out cycling on a Sunday morning early, and we were just frustrated with people not saying hello, not waving. And so the idea was just to get a group of people together. It was never really to start a club.
So escalated, pretty much.
Absolutely. So then we started putting things out on Twitter. We created a website and did some Facebook stuff. And before you knew it, it grew into something which really needed managing. So
you got someone to manage it for you?
Well, absolutely, yeah. No, so it all started, and it's interesting how fast it has grown into something very big, and very quickly it needed a committee. It needed someone like Debbie to manage it as the secretary. So it's a growing, thriving club. Definitely.
That's good to see. So lots of people getting on their bikes all year round, or do you see an increase in numbers when the sun comes out?
Well, there is an increase in numbers when the sun comes up, and then the more hardcore ones do go out in winter. And but it's really nice going out in winter because you dress all nice and warm, and it's freezing cold, and then you bomb it to the coffee stop, and then you have your coffee and come back home again. But yes, we do find that sort of on an average club ride that we have more people turn up on the good weather days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed sort of driving around earlier on. I probably should have been on my bike, but driving about, and lots of people out and about cycling today. I mean, this time of year, I imagine it's a very popular thing to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think cycling has definitely picked up in Woking, sort of Surrey area, and we do sort of. As it does get warmer, you do see more cyclists on the road, and it's great because we say hello to everybody, as Paul's already sort of said, and you hear those mornings, hellos, and
do you know we need that? I mean, not just cycling, but just generally, people don't talk to each other in this part of the world.
They don't.
No, it seems to be. You don't talk to your neighbour. You just walk past. You might get a grunt if you're lucky. Morning. That's about it. But you're bringing a bit of friendliness to Surrey, which is great.
Although, to be fair, when I'm climbing up a hill, the morning does come like morning. Those hills can be big.
Yes, I can imagine. Just thinking, do you cycle up Box Hill?
Yes, Box Hill's the easy part. It's getting to Box Hill and it's getting home.
There are actually harder climbs getting to Box Hill than Box Hill itself.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I think Box Hill is really popular because it has the famous zigzags, which is pretty much the only thing we have down here, close to that.
And it's the smoothest road surface to cycle on. So you hit Box Hill, and it's just amazing to cycle on when you've sort of got like little lumpy bits on the road and things like that. So.
But it is a lovely cycle, I imagine. Sort of getting from here, would you go up past sort of Sheer, Clarendon, around that sort of area? Is that how you'd?
All over.
Wow.
We've gone as far as the Rural Life Cafe in Tilford. We do an annual ride to Shoreham, and that's just sort of to Shoreham and back, and that's for everybody who's training for the ride London. And we go to Windsor. So the first Sunday of every month we go to Windsor because that's for any sort of new cyclists who'd like to come along, not too keen on the Surrey Hills, and then we take them to Windsor.
Okay.
And
so that's like a start out point then?
Yes,
yeah.
Because it is 45 miles when you first start off, because that's the average distance of a club ride.
I was going to say 45 miles, I like to cycle just a couple of miles up the road here and there. 45 miles though, that's a lot, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. And so as a new cyclist, you're just trying to get into cycling, it is quite a daunting distance.
Yeah.
But then we also have our Saturday social group, and that's sort of 15 miles average, and we obviously stop for coffee and cake, because we always stop for coffee and cake.
That's a big part of what you do, isn't it?
Absolutely. I will be in trouble with Paul if we ever didn't do that.
Well, bear in mind, although 45 miles sounds a long way, which it is for someone new to the sport, we're all on road racing bikes, so those are considerably easier to ride than the likes of mountain bikes and stuff like that. Although we do have people turn up on hybrids.
Yes.
there's an infamous member of our committee who turned up on a hybrid, and to keep up with us, he actually cycled downhill to try and keep up.
Yeah,
I'm sure Matt will be pleased I mentioned that.
Oh yes, he will be.
So everyone brings their own bike along. Is
Yes.
that how? Okay.
And so our Saturday social group, it's bikes with baskets. It's sort of all abilities, and that's what we try and cater for. We are the motto of the club is to try and an all-inclusive cycling club, and we work very hard to keep it that way, which is good, and I think our members appreciate it.
Well, it certainly seem a friendly bunch from what I've seen meeting you two this evening. So just thinking about, cycling in this area, of course, the Olympics, we have the Olympic road race, you have a tour of Britain, all sorts of events, so it's quite a popular area for cycling. Do you think, with the Olympics, do you think that's had a bit of a legacy? Do you think people have taken up cycling and maybe joined a club or got involved or taken it further as a result of the Olympics?
I think there's been a number of local events which has certainly made a big impact on our membership.
Yeah.
So obviously we've had the tour series which has come through Woking. We've always had our stand up and members in kit. So we've seen some big membership as a result of that. And I think that when we started the club, you had the Olympics obviously that happened, and we just saw a massive influx of interest. And also we're very fortunate as to where we live. That we can ride the Pru 100 route, or we can ride the Olympic route. We can do Box Hill. Some of those famous rides that people see on TV. So it's made a big difference. And when we see peaks in terms of membership interest, which is normally after an event, and also in the summer as well, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So how many members have you got at the moment then?
So we're at 162, and I hope I have that right. Otherwise, Tom is going to moan at me. Tom is our membership secretary, so he did give me the list. I did look at Tom, I promise.
Bear in mind, that's a big ramp of membership within 2 years. It's the first year I think we were less than 50, and then because people see us ride around in our Woking CC jerseys, it's like an advert for the club.
I think when I joined last year in April, the membership was only at about 80.
Wow, so it's really grown then.
Yeah, it has grown. And, it is also, down to hard work from, the committee, but also Paul. And,
So how, of
Thanks,
those 160 odd people that are members, how many of them are regularly turn up to your events?
There are some regular faces we see every Sunday, then the not so regular ones. But sort of during summer, we will have up to the biggest turnout we've had already was 60 in one morning.
Wow.
And then, and then we have to have ride leaders for every single group, and making sure that the group is big enough and is also, sorry, not big enough, but actually safe enough so that it's not too big.
I was going to say safety is
is a big thing for us.
Yes, I can imagine. So what precautions and how do you protect the safety of your riders then when you're out on the rides?
So when on a club ride, we try and identify any new members, so anybody can sort of turn up for a freebie ride before they join the club.
So try before you buy, sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. And they usually make themselves known to either myself or Julian Keeley, who's the ride administrator. And from that, we then gauge, what do they know about the roads, road signs, what's left and right and slowing down. She says, waving her arms frantically that nobody can actually see. I am doing the signals.
I do that all the time on the radio, wave at people. It works on radio, doesn't it?
Of course, yes. And we just sort of, we never leave anybody behind. So we always make sure that we ride together as a group. So if somebody has a puncture, the whole group stops.
Okay.
If the person says, fine, go on, we always leave somebody with them just in case. But the idea is that you ride as a group, you stay as a group.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And a lot of people may be thinking, all these people are used to cycling 45 miles, new member hasn't cycled before and they're going to find that everyone's just left them. So it's not like that at all.
No, not at all.
That's good to know.
I think that's one of the most positive feedbacks we've had as a club is that, we try and be inclusive regardless of age, ability, fitness, experience, and the idea is that we want to welcome all types of members. We have some GB triathletes in our club, right through to people who like Debbie said, ride a basket, a bike with a basket. So the idea is that it is for everybody.
So something open to everyone then.
No, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, we're going to take a break for a piece of music. I know you've given me a playlist of songs, and we're going to hear from Waves, Mr. Probes. That will be your choice then, Paul, will it?
It will be, yeah.
So why have you chosen this song?
I like the song. There's no sentimental value there at all.
Oh, there was meant to be some deep and meaningful.
I was seriously waiting for the deep and meaningful story, but we'll play the song and we'll come back. Yes, having a good conversation with Debbie and Paul from the Woking Cycling Club, and I was just thinking, actually, a friend of mine was having a conversation, as you do, and they were talking about they just joined a gym, and they were saying they go to the gym and they spent 2 hours on an exercise bike, sort of static bike, not going anywhere. I don't quite. Whereas you're out there, you're doing your thing, and getting out there in the fresh air, and lots of benefits of cycling as well, isn't there?
No, absolutely. I think there's no point going to the gym and going on a bike unless you've got specific training plans.
Yeah.
But you'll never get the same workout on a exercise bike than you will on a proper bike, because the hills are never the same. You don't get a headwind in a gym, do you? So
Exactly.
and it's much more fun.
Yeah, definitely, and very sociable as well, and lots and lots of health benefits. So, you're going out there, meeting people, having fun, having coffee and cake, and improving your fitness as well, which is really cool. So, this is interesting, actually. We'll start with you, Paul. How did you get into cycling?
I think just like any other person, got a BMX when I was young, did a bit of that, a bit of BMX racing, then got into mountain biking, actually, rather than road racing. So mountain bike for many, many years in the Surrey Hills. And then there was a friend of mine in Guildford who bought himself a road bike for a triathlon. This is probably about 10 years ago now, and I decided to do the same thing, and then just started road cycling and loved it because of the speed and distances you could cover. And now I think I've ridden my mountain bike 3 times in the last couple of years, which is only fractionally less than I've ridden my road bike.
So what is the difference between a mountain bike and a road bike then?
Obviously, the mountain bike is designed to be ridden off-road, and a road racing bike on the road.
Yes.
So there's a big speed element, but obviously you get the freedom of a mountain bike going pretty much wherever you want to. So I think that it used to be you're either a mountain biker or a road rider. I think now you'll see that most people will actually do both. Because if the weather is pretty grotty, you don't want to be on the road. The visibility is bad, lots of cars. So people often go mountain bike instead. So.
Okay. So it's down to personal preference.
I think so.
Maybe some people got both bikes, so they can pick which one
most
they
of
want.
us have,
And with the mountain bikers, they tend to get covered in mud, which just looks amazing.
Yes.
And if you get the one time at the top of Box Hill, these 2 mountain bikers had just cycled up Box Hill, and they were covered from head to toe in mud, like even their teeth and their gums, it was like muddy.
Wow.
And I thought, I'm going to try that one day. I'm yet to
It does
try
look
it.
fun. It's like when you go back to your childhood. There's nothing wrong getting muddy, is there?
Yeah.
So.
Do you know, I cycle a lot. I've got a mountain bike, cycle a lot down the Basingstoke Canal, which is brilliant. They've really,
yes.
Woking is such a great place for cycling. Just, just as a commuter, maybe, just going to work down the canal in the sunshine, even if you're not going long distance, it's great, isn't it?
But that's where I learned to cycle in Woking as such, because I moved to Woking about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And a work colleague gave me a hybrid, which I affectionately named Chelsea.
Why did you call the bike Chelsea?
Well,
Sorry,
it was just okay.
things.
So the bike brand was Land Rover, so
Right.
I thought Chelsea tractor.
Okay,
Chelsea.
it works.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, and she had these lovely blue pannier bags for my commute to work, which is only like 4 miles down the road. But that's how it all started. And so after being dragged, sort of going up and down the canal to work and back, a friend of mine said, "No, well, I'll take you further one day." And I think I died after about 11 miles, and I had to stop at a Harvester and eat a burger. I was so hungry. I was dying.
So the calories you burnt
Oh,
getting those
yes,
11
they went
miles.
straight back on again.
Well, that's the good thing. You burn so many calories
insane.
cycling that you don't realise
Yeah.
you are.
Yes.
I mean, after today's club ride, I think I burnt up like 1,500 calories. It's like, yay!
Are you measuring the calories? Is there a way
Yes,
of
it's a
doing that?
lovely app that we use to record our rides, and you sort of, it's more about for me, it's looking at how I've improved or not improved, and it's just a great way of seeing how many calories you've burned up. Let's face it, it's all about that.
It just means when you're eating the cake,
Yeah.
and you can indulge in
It's
with food
completely
and drink
guilt-free.
afterwards. It's okay.
Yeah, do you know, I like the idea of this. You got this sort of idea of this coffee and cake at the end of it all to look forward to.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, so you cycle somewhere, have a coffee and cake, and come back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So in the middle, you've got that to look forward to. That sort of gives you the motivation to get there.
Yes.
So what's the favourite cake amongst your membership then?
Ooh, okay. So at Box Hill, I think it's the treacle tart. That's quite the favourite, but it's too sweet for me. And then at the Cinnamon Cafe in Windsor, their cinnamon buns are amazing. They serve it warm. I don't know how they do it. Because they don't microwave or anything in front of us. It's just warm.
Wow.
And then I'd probably say Peas Lake, which is
Yes.
a favourite of ours, and that was the first club ride we ever had, actually, over to Peas Lake.
Okay.
Cheese straws,
Yes.
always a club
Ooh,
favourite.
nice.
Very nice.
Okay. So you're now connoisseurs of cake.
We are.
Oh yeah, we know where all the good coffee is and the, maybe not so good coffee.
We know the friendly coffee shops and the not so friendly.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
when we turn up en masse, it's
Yeah.
not always the best thing.
Can you just turn up, or do you have to sort of phone up and say?
We do phone up ahead.
So you
We
book it,
did
that's
learn
good.
our lesson the one day when we did turn up unannounced, and it did. The ladies got a little bit flustered.
Okay.
So now Julian always phones up ahead, let them know, 50 cyclists descending between this time and this time, and it's all good.
It's good. So it's a very warm welcome to the welcoming cyclists from the Wakey
Yes.
Cycle Club.
And we always try and go to sort of like independent places or sort of,
Yes. I love the independent places. Places, like these chains, they're all very samey a lot of the time, aren't they? So it's
sometimes
nice
it can't be helped, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is, it's always,
Yes.
it comes down to who makes the best homemade cake,
So here's a question for you then, thinking about cyclists and what they wear. Do you have to wear lycra to be a proper cyclist? This is the thing. Is this going to divide opinion?
Well, I think in terms of the shorts, you
Yeah.
need to wear lycra shorts because obviously they have the padding.
Right.
Yes.
So that makes a big difference. Otherwise, you'll have a bruised bum. It also it makes a big difference in terms of if you're doing a longer ride with wind resistance. Because if you've got flappy clothes,
Yeah.
you may not think it makes a difference, but it does.
Okay.
And I think lycra is just generally more comfortable.
It is really comfortable wearing lycra, and I can't believe I just said that.
That's on record.
I know. No, it just, you put it on and, it is obviously horrifying the first time you go, oh, I'm really wearing
Yeah.
lycra.
But you're not wearing it for the fashion stakes. You're wearing it as a
No.
practical piece of clothing, aren't you?
No, but there is nice pieces of kit out there. Of course, the club kit is the best.
Yes. Is that
Obviously.
supplied as somebody that joins your club? They get the kit supplied and.
No, they have to buy it because
Okay.
we don't have a sort of. We used to give out free jerseys.
We did.
But now we've stopped just because we ran out of that stock.
Yeah.
But now everybody has, they get to order the club kit, the shorts, the winter
Yeah.
jacket, and all that.
Yeah, there's lots of kit, and we spend a lot of time on the design and getting the right supplier.
That's good.
But obviously, this kit, it's not cheap. It's not really, really expensive.
No.
It's comparable to what you buy in the shops, but because it's custom made in terms of the colours and designs and everything, we can't afford as a relatively small club to go
Yeah.
and buy loads and loads in advance. So unfortunately, the guys have to buy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, you mentioned that people can come along and sort of have a taster session.
Yes.
Just thinking maybe they're not sure if it's something they want to do long term. Would they have to put a lot of money into it? Buying kit and buying bits and pieces. How would you get
When
around
I
that one?
first joined the club in April last year, it was Clem who actually said to me, he's the racing secretary.
Right.
And he said to me, for the next so many months, I'll be buying something cycling related, until I'm fully kitted out, because apparently you are never fully kitted out.
So it's an ongoing thing then.
And yes, I think I stopped buying, I think it was December, where I just refused. I was like, I'm not buying anything cycling related until I needed overshoes.
Yeah.
So there is, you can go completely bonkers and spend lots of money, but then there's also really good deals to be had. There's always a sale on.
Yeah.
And you sort of buy as and when you need. You don't have to buy
So it's
all
no
at
huge
once.
financial outlay.
Well, the bike is a huge financial
Well, yeah,
outlay.
obviously you need to
Yeah.
invest in your tools, don't you? I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even bike can get a reasonable price now.
Yeah.
Got people who may ride a £8,000 bike, but we've got people who ride a £200
Yeah.
bike, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
So it's something you can. It's relatively affordable then.
I think it's the same as any sport. If
Yes.
you start fishing, you can spend thousands of pounds on
Yeah.
kit. So I don't think it's any different to any other, really.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break for some more music and chat a bit more, a bit about your charity work as well. I know you support a lot of charities, so looking forward to talking to you about that. But we're going to play Who's Chosen Robin S. Show Me Love. Is that...
No, that is me again, I'm afraid.
We will find, Debbie, what is your choices in a minute. Okay, I was going to ask you why you've chosen that song. Is it because you
Please
like
don't.
it?
Oh, no.
So Robin S. and Show Me Love, we're playing that because Paul likes it, apparently.
Yep.
I love these emotional stories and why you choose this song. Brilliant. You like it. Okay, well, that's wouldn't be planning if you didn't like it. Okay, so we're in conversation with Debbie and Paul from the Woking Cycling Club, and just talking a bit about the charity work that you guys do. Just having a look. What charities do you support?
We support Surrey Wheels for All and Woking and Sand Bay Hospice.
Okay.
So those are two chosen charities, which are members. We've got two members who work for the hospice.
Okay.
And we chose Surrey Wheels for All because, they're trying to get, kids to ride their bikes. And so it just made perfectly sense that we actually supported that because we're also, trying to go with the whole all-inclusive.
So it's the same sort of mindset, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Surrey Wheels for All, they do Sunday in Shearwater, actually. They've got the athletics track, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got all these wonderful bikes, and even if people in a wheelchair, they can clip the bikes on, and it's I've taken someone around the track. I've been pedalling and trying to get the bike around the track. They're quite hard to cycle, those things, aren't they?
One of the girls. One of the ladies from the club, we went one afternoon. There was a group of us, and we used the bike that you have to use your hands to rotate, so your arms.
Oh, yes, I've seen them.
And the two of us could not get coordinated, so it was like a stop-start all the way around the track. I haven't laughed so much on a bike. It was just... and then the thing is you've got little kids lapping you.
Oh, no, that's embarrassing, isn't it? Yes, I haven't tried the bikes you have to do with your hands, but the one where you strap the wheelchair on, a number of times I've nearly come off a track. It's been, about 2 or 3 laps, and then you have to get someone else to take over. But
2 or 3?
Yeah.
We managed 1.
Really? Oh, okay, that makes me feel good about myself then. So Surrey Wheels for All, I know they have events. They have a scheme running in Woking. I think they have something running in Epsom as well, so we're doing a lot of good, as you say, the same sort of mindset as you. And the Sand Bay Hospice, so there's a lot of support for them locally, and it just costs so much money to keep the doors of hospice open. I know they had a few problems financially recently, but it's definitely a good charity to be supporting.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just because it's a long-standing charity.
yes,
I think most people will recognise the charity and know of it, and because of the work they've done for family and friends and stuff. So it made sense as Woking Cycling Club to do something for them.
yes. So when you're choosing your charities to support, do you have a vote amongst your members? Is that how it works, or
It was more of a vote for the committee, I think.
Okay.
Because we're a pretty tight knit group, and sometimes you can't make decisions out club wide because we're quite a big club now, and you need to take decisions correctly, appropriately, or within good time frames. So I think that you can't always do that.
But the club, the members themselves were great at raising the money because we raised the money at our Christmas party last year. So everybody got presents, sort of prizes donated. So there was a raffle and there was an auction.
and the proceeds went to charities?
Absolutely.
50-50 splits or
Yeah,
equally
it was
between
50, yeah.
charities,
And it was great fun. So of course, as the night progressed, the sort of the raffling and all that sort of got more interesting, especially the auction. But it's all for good fun,
It's great, do you find with raffles, I always end up with you see this table of prizes and they call out numbers and the iPod goes, the bottle of wine goes. I ended up with some weird beer glass or something. And I wouldn't have minded the aftershave even, but let's get the last ticket. I suppose should be grateful to win anything, really. But
I think we were very lucky actually with some of the donations we had. Some really good prizes.
Yeah.
And not only with their cycling stuff in there, but there's Eurostar tickets and all sorts. So it's really good.
wow, that's going to get people putting their money, hand in their pockets, getting the money out and supporting the charity as well. Brilliant. So you sound like a very friendly club, and it's not all about the cycling, it's about the cake eating and the social activities as well. So if people are interested in joining, when do you cycle? When are your sort of cycling events?
So our main club ride is on a Sunday, and we leave the leisure centre for 8 o'clock on a Sunday.
Didn't even know that time morning existed, actually.
Apparently it does.
So what time? So you arrive at 8 o'clock. What time do you actually wake up?
12:30.
It's all over. Okay, so 8 o'clock at the leisure centre.
But we also then, so there's that ride, and then for sort of cyclists who don't want to try a 45-mile ride straight away, we've got our Saturday social ride, and that starts at 9:30. Okay. And it's quite good.
And I think for the mountain bikers as well, we now run the summer Wednesday nights, which start off on the Basingstoke Canal and typically go over to Purbright Ranges. And
so you're making the most of us like evenings then?
Absolutely, yeah. You can't do that obviously during the winter, but it's perfect at the moment.
So anybody interested, can they just turn up, or do I need to contact you beforehand? How does it work?
It's nice if somebody contacts before the time so that you at least so you can expect
Yeah.
them. But it does say on the club's website that you can just turn up.
Yeah.
So if you are new, just make yourself known to either myself or Julian in the morning. It's quite obvious to spot us, I think.
Yeah.
I think. I'll probably get told otherwise.
With the whole branded cycle wear and all that.
Well, no, because Julian always starts us off, so you know that he's the person in charge on a
Okay.
Sunday morning. So, and I'm just the gobby one. So,
But there's lots of information on the website.
Yes.
So it's wokincc.org.
Yes.
What you can expect from the
Yeah.
first ride, the sort of distances we do, and some of the stops we do. It'd be perfect if people do get in touch, but they don't have to.
yeah.
Ideally, we want newcomers to come on the first Sunday of the month, because that's our Windsor ride, which
Yeah.
is relatively flat compared to some of the other rides we do. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that that's the only ride they can do.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
can come to another Sunday. That's fine.
And the first one's free.
Yes.
They are free. I don't think we've ever chased anyone for
We've-
membership
no,
fees. Yeah?
because usually at the end, after the first ride, people do want to sign up. So
Yeah.
we've never had to be sort of draconian about it because
Okay.
it just seems to work out.
So is there a membership fee after?
Yes,
the
it's
first one?
£15 a year.
Okay. Which is not a lot when you think about the benefits you're going to get out of that.
Not
So
really.
it's
Not
pretty
really.
good. Okay, so that website again?
So wokincc.org. We're also on Twitter as well, which is @wokincc, which is the same on Facebook as well.
Okay, well, it's been really good to talk to you, and thank you for sharing some of the friendliness and the encouragement of your cycling club with us here this evening at Radio Wey.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's Paul and Debbie from the Woking Cycling Club talking to us on the programme this evening.